Hi, welcome to Local Flavor. My name is Oisin Stolberg. We're here at the Institute for Culinary Arts, and we're hanging out with Chef Michael Combs. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me again.
Oh, thank you for being here. So today we're going to make some cheese.
We are, but I thought cheese takes a lot of time. I thought you need like a caves. I thought you need aging. I thought you need all this.
That's what we're going to do today. We're going to dig a cave. We're going to age the cheese.
It's going to be a long episode.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's going to be 28 hours instead of 20 minutes. It's going to be great. So we're going to make a couple of types of cheese, just super easy. Like, we're not going to do any of like the aged ones because they're more complicated, takes more time, more of a controlled environment, that kind of stuff. But like, we're basically going to make two types of ricotta, like one high fat and one low fat. And then we're going to make a mascarpone, which you can then use to make like tiramisu, all sorts of fun stuff.
So you have like a lower fat, a mid fat, and a high fat.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Oh, yeah. Because like, it's just a very, they just curdle very differently and kind of cheese up very differently. So it's just kind of interesting. It kind of gives you a little glimpse into the world of cheese.
Sure.
But I'm for sure no expert in cheese making. I can't just go and make like a Parmesan just on a whim or something. But this is just kind of a little glimpse into the world of cheese.
So this is a fast cheese. They're going to be soft to semi-soft cheeses.
Yep.
Or basically all soft.
Yep.
And you can do all these at home with just very little ingredients, right?
Super, super easy.
Cool.
Super easy. Okay, so you're going to start heating up. So we've got a high-fat ricotta. So it basically half and half milk and cream. So you're just going to pour that in there.
Take that forward.
And basically just going to bring that up to 185. And you want to be a little bit careful when heating it up because you don't want it to scorch and whatnot.
So basically maybe a thick bottom pan would be a good idea?
Yep, totally.
And watching it, babysitting it kind of?
Yeah, give it a little stir every now and then. You don't want it to get too hot either because then the curds will be pretty tough and rubbery. 185 is kind of like the magic number where it curdles very nicely. And you get a pretty good yield out of it.
Sure.
But you won't get like spongy, rubbery curds.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of finicky. So this one is just straight milk.
So that's a lower fat.
So this is a lower fat, yeah. So I got lemon juice. You can use other types of acid too. Like you can use citric acid. You can use any type of vinegar.
Sure.
You can use all sorts of stuff. But we'll temp this one out. Kind of make sure it's at 185.
So you have a little stick thermometer there, and of course you always want to make sure you calibrate your thermometer before you do these things because it would be that wouldn't be good if you went through all this trouble. I mean, it is a cheap product to make, but you know if you had to do it over again.
Yeah, I still wanna ruin it and whatnot. So that one's looking pretty good. So basically, just gonna add the acid.
Okay. So we're lemon juice in this case.
Yep.
I think it's good flavor. I like the lemon flavor too, and it depends on what you're going to also use it for.
Yeah, and like we're going to season it up with some lemon zest and stuff like that afterwards as well, so it'll be pretty tasty. So you can see it's starting to curdle a little bit.
Immediately starting to curdle, and this is the low-fat version.
Yep. So you basically want to stop stirring it too much, because the more you stir it after you add the acid, it's going to kind of keep breaking down the curds.
Sure.
And you want it to be fairly big. It's just going to strain easier later.
Okay.
So basically, you're just going to set that one inside and kind of let it...
So that's all you did. You just heated it up to 185 degrees.
Yep.
Put a little acid there, give it a quick little stir, set it aside.
Yep. You're basically just lowering the pH and just kind of denature the proteins and just separating it.
Cool.
So
pretty easy.
Oh yeah, like it's like
got some science to it.
It's got a lot of science to it, and I'm for sure not smart enough to be able to explain any of that stuff.
Sure.
Because me trying to pawn myself off as smart would never go well.
That'd be a whole nother show if we did this whole science thing. But so basically, we have a higher fat, and it should theoretically it should take a little longer, or it should be. The curdling will not happen as quickly with the higher fat.
Yeah, and you just get less of a yield out of it. But like it's just more fat that just kind of helps bind it all, and it's just heavier.
So you want the proteins. You want to denature the proteins, but since there's a lot of fat in there, that doesn't do a great job. I guess looking back to the history of it, it was ricotta began being made in the Bronze Age. The ancient Romans are the ones who came up with this cheese.
Yeah.
But it was actually a byproduct of other cheeses
Yeah.
And so it was just the whey that was left over, and then they would cook it again, and that's actually what ricotta means, right? Recooked.
Yeah.
And so it actually works better with after it's been made into cheese once the first time and using the leftover whey. And so now we're showing you as if this was leftover whey, and if this was just brand new product that has never been turned into cheese or anything. And it's actually harder.
It's like magic.
Yeah, but delicious. They're both very good, and they have different applications, and you can do all kinds of good stuff.
It's so good. No, but the good thing with ricotta that compared to like making like mozzarella and stuff like that, like you can bring the heat up higher. So like whatever proteins you didn't get out of your mozzarella making, it's easier getting out at a higher temp.
Oh, so basically you heat it to one temperature, which would be a lower temperature. You make your mozzarella, and then what's left over from that, you can make ricotta because you turn it up to a higher temperature. And it does better because
it just increases.
Yeah, and there's less fat and all those things. So that's a really good idea to utilize everything that's in there.
Yeah, mozzarella is just finicky. Like most other cheese, like it's a lot more accurate than ricotta. Like ricotta, you can kind of wing it a little bit.
Sure.
But like making mozzarella, and then you're really relying on like pH and having a pH meter.
And rennet too, usually as well.
And rennet, yeah. So, because it's a lot more sciencey. This is just, I don't know, whimsical cheese. You can kind of wing it as you go along. But yeah,
I think it's smart, really, if you think about it. I mean, you're utilizing everything from it. And then the extra whey, the water, I mean, you can put that in your garden or do whatever you decide to feed it to the dog.
Because it's still high in calcium. Like you can pour it on roses, tomato plants, like all of those guys love that stuff. They go crazy over it.
So this is just a way of utilizing everything and coming out with two excellent products.
It's a way of using it. Bam!
It took him all day. I know he already had that in his mind. He had that ready to go.
All right, so this one is getting pretty close. It's trucking along pretty good.
So it looks, definitely. Wow, look at that. It's already.
Oh yeah.
It's already starting to curdle.
Because you can basically tell on the color of the whey. That way it's kind of like that greenish blue color. The more greenish blue it gets, and the more clear it gets, the better yield you're getting out of it.
Right.
If it's still got some white to it, then you still got some more proteins you can get out of it.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of like a little magical process.
So, like, what would you use ricotta for?
You can use it for a lot of stuff. I always use it when making lasagna, like just kind of layering in there.
Oh, it's awesome with lasagna.
Oh, it's delicious. But like you can use it for desserts. You can use it for certain cakes. You can just smear it on a piece of bread. Like it's very
stuff.
Oh yeah, and it's
a fairly cheap cheese, really, to make. I don't know if you can. I'm sure that, well, besides making like caramel or something, or something with sugar and water, but this is very inexpensive and a way to utilize all your product. If you have milk that's going bad,
it's a way of using your product.
It is. I'm gonna use that all the time now. It's not gonna go away. So like, so if you have milk that's going bad, you can always, or you think you're not gonna use it or whatever, you can always use it. But the one thing about ricotta, it is highly perishable. But so you do got to keep it in the fridge. Don't leave it out after you make it. And there is. But there is such thing as aged ricottas too.
Yep.
So you can age it, but that's got other ways of preserving it in there. More of a controlled environment.
Because like you can smoke it, you can roast it, you can press it, and you can brine it, kind of do like a ricotta salata.
Ah, yeah, true. That's like, and you can slice that even ricotta salata.
Yeah, because it basically just draining more of the moisture out when you strain it, and then just press it, and then put it in like a weak brine afterwards.
Like it's a good idea too.
Yeah, like it's a good way of making it last longer and utilizing it.
And you can use any kind of milk. So you can use, isn't that right? You can use goat, you can use cow's milk, you can use sheep's milk.
Yeah. The best milk to use is raw milk. Because it'll just always have a higher calcium level and it'll just increase your yield quite a bit. So like it'll still work with like pasteurized and whatnot, but like the yield won't be quite the same.
Sure.
Because like a raw milk is just going to have a higher fat content.
It hasn't been processed, hasn't been heated already to be pasteurized. But that's I can say that's the problem. But that is a problem here in the United States. It's really difficult to get raw milk.
Yeah.
It's actually illegal to sell.
Yeah.
So
I usually buy it in parking lots.
There you go. Kind of make a.
It's magic.
Out of somebody's trunk.
Yeah. Okay, so this one is just about ready. So I'm going to add a little bit of buttermilk, a little bit of lemon juice. Because buttermilk will have enough acid, so you can technically curdle just with buttermilk as well. and then just stir that in.
You can do like a creme fraiche really like that, couldn't you?
Yep.
With just buttermilk and so that's kind of a whole different. And then that one you leave out.
Yeah.
Because it's got a culture in it, and then you can actually leave that one out overnight or 3 days.
Because that's just lowering the pH too.
Same thing.
Just kind of thicken it.
Except for the little cultures, I think, extra in there, which has yeast in it, and that will allow it to ferment, and then you can leave that one out. But
it's like magic.
it is.
Okay, so I'm just going to keep heating this one a little bit more. You can kind of see it
Already
starting to curdle a little
Not
bit.
as quick as the low fat.
No, high fat will take quite a bit longer.
Sure.
So you're going to just leave that one on low for a little bit, and it'll just start to curdle. While these ones are doing its little magic thing, I guess we'll go make a sandwich or something, and we'll be right back to finish up some cheese.
Sounds good. See you soon.
See ya.